A Navy investigation found several failures prior to the Pearl Harbor Shipyard murder-suicide, in which a sailor killed 2 civilian workers and wounded a third last December. The commander of the U.S. Pacific Fleet pointed out a series of missed signals that might have prevented the tragedy. Hawaii News Now obtained that report and broke the story online. The Navy investigation found no motive for the shooting.
Starting the midnight shift last December as an armed watchstander of the USS Columbia, Gabriel Romero uttered his last known words, telling the petty officer of the deck, "I'll be back."
There were no red flags when it came to his personality when he was processing into the military.
On Dry Dock 2 of the Shipyard, the Navy report says the petty officer saw Romero firing his M4 rifle behind 3 Department of Defense civilian employees, 15 to 20 feet away, killing Vincent Capoy Jr., Roldan Augustin, and wounding Roger Nakamine. He then used his M9 pistol to shoot himself. Admiral John Aquilino, commander of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, said, quote, "No one could have reasonably predicted that he would engage in this ultimate act of murder and suicide."
I think you're going to be hard-pressed to ever find a commander to say, yeah, it was our fault.
Attorney David Hendrickson was a Marine infantryman and Army lawyer and says the commander pointed out several failures.
Romero had failed essentially the standard or criteria to be appointed as an armed guard. He had been failing to show up on time numerously. He was actually getting in trouble with the Navy for that.
There was a disciplinary inquiry the day before the shooting, and Romero missed a safety briefing before standing armed watch that night.
Those members of the command could have evaluated his demeanor, his temperament, and maybe discovered, hey, something's not right with him today.
The Navy's commander said, quote, "Armed watches should not be treated as a menial task for deficient performers," and said the USS Columbia leaders were not proactive and, quote, "underdiagnosed and did not properly manage Romero's mental health condition." During several incidents, quote, "he was isolated and withdrawn from his shipmates," and told one, he was tired of work and angry about shipmates mistreating him and calling him stupid.
He had been very emotional during these events, so there were a lot of indicators that he was struggling, that he was disturbed and having problems.
In March 2019, Romero went to the ER at Tripler Army Medical Center, where he saw a mental health professional for trouble focusing. He was referred for treatment, but didn't see another mental health expert until half a year later, 3 months before the deadly shooting.
Now, other details from the report: Romero had gotten into 2 vehicle accidents in a year, one involving a motorcycle and the other a car. His mother also said he suffered traumatic brain injuries playing hockey.